Good afternoon, traders and investors. It's Will back with another one today. Ooh boy, guys, what a total market rip today to the upside. Beautiful day all across the board once again. That's what we love to see. We got some great earnings from Pepsi that gave us some insight on where the consumer actually stands now. And tomorrow we do have our financial earnings, so QQQ day for tomorrow as well. So without further ado, guys, let's get into some charts, right? So gonna check on the heat map real quick. Heat map looking beautiful. Once again, healthcare, no surprise, lagging once more behind the rest of the market. However, very, very healthy day overall, guys. And this is why it is so tough to potentially short this market. This is, I was saying yesterday, this is a short seller's absolute nightmare. Now, a month and a half ago, when it was only these large names carrying the entire market, it was easy to build a thesis for being short the overall market, especially QQQ, since it was a lead bull. But when I start seeing this, guys, it becomes increasingly tough to start to short the market or initiate short positions here, despite how much we have run this year, right? As I was always saying on this channel, you can go back and watch my first videos. In my opinion, the recession in terms of assets was last year. We may get a slight economic recession, but the asset recession is completely different. That usually precludes the economic recession by at least 6 to 9 months. And this time it was about a year forward, right? So we priced in all of the negative bad stuff last year. There was so much uncertainty last year, and this year it's all been removed, right? There was massive uncertainty around the R versus U war in Europe. There was also massive uncertainty in terms of China reopening. There was a number of different catalysts, guys. The supply chain, the inflation that kept upticking, especially last October. No terminal rates in sight with the Fed continuously increasing 0.5, 0.75%, right? So all of these uncertainties have now been lifted off the table, so it should be no surprise to you guys that with a lack of negative catalysts, this market continues to push higher. Now, one-day relative performance, healthcare, our worst performer once again. I'm expecting them to actually have a bit of mean reversion soon, but you can see some very, very good performance all across the board. 1 week now is entirely green, and the 1 month relative as well, entirely green. Now, in terms of SPY, guys, I wanted to look into just this chart very, very briefly, right? We're going to go over the things briefly. There's some crypto news as well. So the higher low was absolutely beautifully set. Now, what are we looking for? We are going to look for any single drop from this level is just going to be a daily higher low as soon as this move tops up, right? So anything above 437.66 is just your daily higher low. Weekly chart looking very, very healthy. Once again, we are reaching now into the supply area. We're talking about 450 to 460 is our next big area of resistance. The bulls are in full control of all time frames, monthly, weekly, daily. QQQ, same principle, right? Exact same principle. Anything above 363, 70, 60-ish is just going to be your daily higher low. New 52-week highs. Beautiful, beautiful move by the bulls today. So the bulls control the monthly, the weekly, and the daily chart as well. We are now above this same area. As you recall, this was the same area on SPY. We're not there yet. QQQ, we are now above. We are now targeting the all-time highs, guys. We are now only under 7% off of all-time highs on QQQ, and SPY should be roughly the same, right? Just around 6.5% off of your all-time highs. Very good movement by the bulls here. XLF financials, big day for them tomorrow, so I don't want to speak too soon, but the bulls have created a ton of space. Excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard that, but it is pouring here. Massive thunderstorm, tornado warning, all that stuff, but we bring you guys the content. If the video breaks, it's because I ran out of power. So anything above 33.25 is going to be a daily higher low, right? Moving averages, nice moving averages down here. You can see the 12 in yellow and the 200-day moving average in green. So tons of support. And we also have a horizontal support area, this red rectangle right here, right? So very, very, very good area. If we do bounce, right, and then retest and break above, we're obviously targeting the higher levels, right? 35 all the way to $36 range. So if it does pull back a bit more, I will be looking to write puts in the 33.50 area. Tomorrow, key crucial day for that. Bulls with tons of space, even if we do pull back. XLV doing absolutely nothing, right? The entire week, We've been trapped in this little price range here. So it's kind of unfortunate the XLV bulls are not able to do what the rest of the market is doing. We've kind of been really tightening in this tightening range for a while now. So the levels do remain the same, right? Anything above 126.30 is just going to be a weekly higher low, looking for bulls to set that to then set the uptrend. But we need to stop this move, need to stop the downward momentum and reset the daily uptrend for more. IWM Russell, the small caps keep coming. They've now created a ton of space from the lows, right? So anything above 180.80, 181 is going to be your daily higher low. It's really good. We have a massive area now of support down here. We also have the moving average. So if we do indeed pull back, I would expect this area to likely hold up. Very, very good confluence of indicators there, right? So if we do pull back a little bit, I would be very enticed to write the 185, 184 options in this little pocket here. Levels to the upside remaining, as I was stating yesterday, the 195 to psychological 200 level. And keep in mind, guys, the growth names, a lot of them are still 60, 70% off all-time highs. The index as a whole is a laggard. We are still 20% off all-time highs. So almost triple the levels that SPY and QQQ are off their all-time high. So very, very good risk reward. Dow Jones. Now, our value names performing quite well today, right? So even though today was a bit of a non-mover for the Dow Jones in terms of percentage, we are holding gains near the high. Anything above 33,700 will just be a daily higher low for a potential daily uptrend being set within this little range here. The moving averages are down here, could represent some decent support. The one thing that I did want to talk about is Pepsi, right? Okay, so Pepsi beats earnings estimate, raises the full year outlook, even as higher prices hurt demand. So what did they do, guys? They beat the earnings and revenue estimates at the same time. They raised the full year outlook, which is very good. And obviously the higher prices hurt a bit of the volume, but they were able to compensate for that nicely, still able to deliver some very good revenue. And this is a key factor, guys, okay? I want you to pay very close attention. This is why I bring up this report. They're the first company, right, to report, and they're extremely consumer facing, right? So the consumers are sensitive to price increases. We're trying to determine, are they still sensitive, and how much? How much is the consumer feeling the quote unquote recession, right? So you can see that they had a very nice beat on EPS, very nice beat on revenue as well, right? Look at this. Now expects 10% organic revenue growth, up from its prior forecast of 8%. So they hiked as well their earnings growth to 12% from 9%. In the midst of recession, guys, companies do not increase guidance. Do you remember last year when every single company was reducing guidance? And when in Q1 of this year, a lot of these companies sandbagged their own expectations for the year in fears of the recession, right? So it's already been done. They have sandbagged their expectations prior, and now they are beating across the board. This is the oldest trick in the book. But when you see a company increasing earnings into terminal rates and into inflation dropping like this, right? Where is the recession, right? It's going to be a very shallow recession if we do get one to begin with. And the other thing that I wanted to let you guys know here is, where is it? Pepsi is planning to return to its usual pricing strategy for the rest of the year. So they will be able, now that we've had some good manufacturing data, the supply costs are now down for a lot of these companies. So they will be reducing prices slightly, which is also going to help with inflation, right? And here is very, very important here. Lastly, the CEO said that consumers are looking for better deals and shopping more from dollar stores and club retailers, right? Costco, one of my favorite plays. You guys know why. Watch out for Costco. And I've been bringing this name a lot too. Dollar General, which got extremely hurt off of its earnings, last earnings quarter, right? The consumers are substituting for these products. Now, right, there's Dollar Tree as well, okay? So Dollar Tree doesn't represent as good risk to reward, but this market still has decent opportunities if you are there to take these opportunities wholeheartedly and trust that these companies are going to be able to deliver the same way they have delivered now for 10 plus years, right? These small blips, Dollar General shot themselves in the foot. They sandbagged their future expectations. And in my opinion, they will be able to beat the low expectations that they set for the rest of the year. This is something that they do on purpose so that they can eventually beat on earnings. Now, gonna get into crypto a bit here. Crypto, very, very, very nice day on crypto. Why? If you guys didn't see the news. So Ripple XRP, which has been a crypto issuer, right? That has been investigated by the SEC for a better part of the last almost 3 years at this point. They have been in litigation, finally declared to not be a security. So obviously, with all of the regulation talk over the past 2 months from the SEC claiming that a lot of altcoins could potentially be securities, this sets a big amount of precedent for those, which is why you see my crypto list here. Everything is going up substantially today. Most of the things that got hit very hard on the last regulation news about a month ago, right? They have all come back to where they pretty much dumped from, especially XRP. Massive, massive day. They were almost up 95% from the bottom today off of that news. So very, very bullish. This leads into my theory that once again, we were only going to break these ranges, this tight range on Bitcoin, with positive crypto specific news because it has not been trailing the rest of the market. QQQ up every day, Bitcoin sideways, right? So now we finally get an opportunity to potentially break over the next few days this range. So I will be looking at this very closely. But once again, if we cannot close the day, you can see it closes in 2 hours. If we cannot get a close above our resistance, I don't care if it pops above and comes back down below. That's just stop loss hunting. We need a close above 31.5 and start to push higher for the weekly bull flag to be confirmed and set the weekly uptrend second leg into motion. So I will be doing a lot of looking at a lot of altcoins and trying to provide you guys a bit of value in case you do want to take some positions in some cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is obviously the lead bull. Ethereum is still trailing behind. So in my opinion, Bitcoin really determines here. If we crack 31.5, expect for the altcoins to also be able to reverse weekly down trends. So keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye out for that, guys. But once again, crypto is very risky. If you haven't done it before, I don't recommend it. This is for experienced investors who have disposable money that they are ready to lose. Now, Apple, very, very decent day from the bulls, right? They could have, could have given a lot back, but still some decent performance from Apple on the day, roughly up 0.41%, still holding the 12 EMA, right? What are we looking for here, guys? Well, anything above 186.55 is just your daily high or low. So we need the bulls to create as much space as possible so that when a pullback does happen, they are able to set a daily high or low and resume our daily uptrend, right? As of now, it is still a daily uptrend, but you don't want to see this, right? So very, very good by Apple bulls of controlling the daily EMA. They didn't have a massive move today, right? But this is the line in the sand level for me, right? You do not want to see a daily downtrend perform on Apple, or it will come down even further and weekly consolidate. Tons of space, no red flags whatsoever. My sweet spot for Apple is still down there. Amazon, absolute monster day by Amazon. They did exactly what we were talking about yesterday, guys, right? So rejecting here, right, from our support area. And now they have pretty much reset the daily uptrend to the bulls. So you absolutely love to see it, right? So nice move here, reset higher low compared to this low down here. And now we absolutely go for the moonshot. So where is Amazon going? Like I was saying in yesterday's video, our next target, 135, we're almost there, all the way up to the 145 area. So very, very good job by the bulls of putting in the work. As I was saying, tapering off yesterday, this was a weekly bull flag, guys. Whenever you see a massive move and consolidation at the top, they didn't even want to give back the 12 EMA that much. Consolidation at the top of the move, right? You love to see that for further continuation. Now we're finally getting continuation. Next area of resistance, guys, watch out for 145. I think the bulls have the momentum to do it. And obviously anything above this low here, 126, is just going to be a higher low, but massive amount of support now that they've cracked through that resistance. Massive good support up here. They should be able to do it very well. Google, amazing day by Google. Finally, what did they do? They have now rejected the daily downtrend. Rejected the daily downtrend. They've set themselves up beautifully so that any pullback will be a higher low compared to your low here of 116. Very, very good job by Google. Google bulls recapture control, recapturing the moving averages here. You can see down here, the MACD on the daily wants to cross, hasn't been green since all the way back here, right? And now our RSI is also pointing upwards. All those things leading me to believe, that we are heading for our 52-week high resistance here all the way up to 130. So keep an eye out on that. I don't think Google bulls are done. And even if we do top out here, tons of space to set a daily higher low and resume the daily uptrend. We are now back above these two yellow lines here. They are our previous area of massive resistance here. So we're back above that. So it should be providing some good support once more. So very, very good job. Very happy to see that. NVIDIA, or sorry, we got to do Meta first. Meta also very good day, right? Not a tremendous day, but 1.32% down a little bit in the after hours here, but a very good day by Meta, right? Anything above 288 is just going to be a daily higher low. When they come back, you can see this 12 EMA, the yellow line, right, is a massive support line for the bulls. It always has been ever since this move pretty much started, right? So keep that in mind. The level out to watch here, the high of the day was 316. This is the gap fill, guys. We're almost there. 317, 318 is the gap fill. We are almost at our area of resistance. So just keep that in mind. This is a fairly decent area of resistance. We haven't had any resistance because of the gap, right? But now we're starting to come into an area where it may prove challenging for the bulls to continue. We're talking about 320 to 325 area, which is basically this whole cluster zone here, right? So very, very old resistance, but it is still there. If you were not to zoom out, you would not see it. So just keep that in mind, guys. The bulls may be getting a bit tired towards that area, but tons of space to come back and set a daily higher low. Weekly bulls, full control, guys. Meta is looking great, but it's just run too much for me to take positions. I would personally only take positions if we get a pullback. And at this point, if I can target the 280 to 260 range, that would be kind of my sweet spot. I'll add that to the chart tonight. Microsoft, good job as well of recapturing that 12 EMA and denying the daily downtrend follow through by the bears, right? Didn't get it, couldn't get it done. So now the bulls with an engulfing move back above the 12 EMA. We were talking about this yesterday. Now they have confirmed it, right? So anything now above your 327.60 is just going to be a daily higher low for a potential daily uptrend reversal. Very, very good job. Resistance up here at the all-time highs, right? If we get something like this, pull back and then break through, that would be very, very cool. Or if we just straight break through and then come back and sit down on it, that's also another possibility, right? So at this point, guys, no red flags whatsoever. The bears are lacking follow through. Why? Broad market. Very, very tough to short a name like Microsoft when you don't have broad market weakness, right? Very, very tough. So congratulations to the bulls. My sweet spot for Microsoft is unfortunately lower. I cannot really open positions here, but congratulations if you do hold. No red flags at all. Great company. NVIDIA, 52-week highs, monster day by NVIDIA once again, almost 5%, right? 460. So now we're complete price discovery mode. Nobody has any idea where this thing is going to the upside, right? There is no previous levels, guys. I wish I could give some to you, but we're just in no man's land. So at this point, we have to trust our RSI. On the monthly, guys, look at this monthly RSI, right? From how long was it overbought? 2015 all the way through 2018. So if you're thinking the monthly RSI is being bad, right? 2020 all the way through 22, early 22, right? So it's like, it can stay this way, guys. There's no reason for it to pull back. It's been overextended for quite some time. And even if we were to get a big like 10% pullback in a week, it would cool the RSI right off. And then we could just grind right higher, right? Another 20% or something like that, you know? So NVIDIA, very good, promising future for NVIDIA. I can't take that away from them. They're doing very, very good things. If you guys didn't see, they invested in this company called RXRX, which was pretty much the big move for yesterday. So, right, so they're trying to explore AI possibilities. So at this point, NVIDIA, right, we really have to rely on what we can see. And at this point, what we can see is the bulls are in full control of this 12 EMA here. I'm going to go ahead and erase this level right here because they're no longer relevant. So at this point, guys, anything above 404, right, or pretty much 400 here, 400 or 404, 400 I'll call it, is just going to be your daily higher low, right? So we need to eventually set a daily higher low, and the bulls have done a great job of breaking through that. There is really no end in sight to this. If you're an NVIDIA shareholder for the long term, congratulations. This company will definitely be doing great things over the next 5 to 10 years. So, I mean, if you want to take some profit off the table and rotate it into other names that are potentially low, like similar names like AMD perhaps, right? well, then that could be a decent trade. At least you're still staying in the same industry and you're rolling good profits if you don't want to potentially hold the entire bag. If you want to cut some and maybe get a bit of mean reversion through AMD, that is also a decent play as well. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but if you like NVIDIA better and no reason to sell it, right? If you're in it for the next 5-10 years, you may as well just not even look, right? That's why you are an investor and not a trader. Now, AMD, right? AMD doing a great job as well of potentially setting the daily higher low here at 109.81 compared to down here. So all we need to do to confirm the daily uptrend is break 117.92. So looking to potentially do that tomorrow if we do get some nice follow through by the bulls again. So AMD positions, I am pretty much almost all out of my AMD positions. I think I am actually. We'll check that in a second here when we bring up the account. So very, very good week on me for AMD as well. I've been participating on AMD for the last 2 weeks because it is close to my zone. This is my heavy, the green boxes are my heavy zones, guys. So I have been writing contracts regardless. I do think it provides some very good upside. Weekly, looking for the weekly higher low. Pretty sure, guys, at this point, it might be set here, 107.52. Definitely looking that way. If they confirm the daily uptrend, then it is definitely set as a weekly higher low. So, right, resistance at that point is going to be between 125 and 130. Great job by the bulls. And now Tesla doing a great job here, guys, of maintaining gains. This whole week has kind of been trapped in this price range, right? Between either 265 and 277-ish where we closed today, right? But the bulls started off weak today, but we're able to bring it back for a nice 2% day, right? So morning started off weak, and then we really took a moonshot throughout the rest of the day. So congratulations to Tesla bulls. That's what we were looking for. The daily low at this point now is pretty much confirmed here, 265 area. Going to be your daily higher low. Now looking for that potential upswing here all the way to from 290 to 310 is pretty much the area that I'm targeting. Why? It is this area up here, this big area of supply that's acted as resistance prior in September that we couldn't break through for a number of weeks, guys. This is almost like 2 months, right? Couldn't break through it, so it stands to argue that that should be a decent area of resistance. This is now our second weekly leg, so it wouldn't surprise me if something like this happens, pull back, right, sit on it, and then potentially go for the further upside, because usually Tesla performs very, very well Q3 and Q4 of the year. So it wouldn't surprise me, guys, if they continue to beat expectations. They have very, very good pricing power, right? They dropped a lot of their prices to stimulate demand. It worked. They are now going to consider doing advertising that they're going to roll out in this coming quarter, right? And they have a few new offerings as well. We're talking about Cybertrucks, the semis as well. So lots and lots and lots of catalysts, potential positive catalysts for Tesla, guys. Really looking forward to this. Palantir, bulls are in complete control, guys, on Palantir, right? Daily uptrend is confirmed. Kind of hesitating here today. Got rejected pretty much from your previous 52-week highs, but that's okay, guys. In this point, anything above 1467, even if we do come down a bit, is just a higher low. Keep an eye out for this 12 EMA, right? And obviously, my target after this whole area here is going to be psychological $20. It's also a decent previous little resistance area, so just keep that in mind. If the bulls are able to push through and really keep this weekly uptrend going, we are definitely going to $20 in my opinion. So very, very good job by Palantir bulls. PayPal as well. PayPal doing very, very good, guys. Nothing to complain here on my side. We're now halfway through the gap fill. Next area of resistance is going to be 75, right? High 75s, right? Let's just call it 76 for all intents and purposes. So that is the next area to watch on PayPal. The bulls have now recaptured the daily uptrend. Anything above 66 is just going to be your higher low. I'm expecting the trend to continue. We're now all but confirmed the weekly uptrend. If it closes like this tomorrow, perfect. If we give it all back tomorrow, right, then obviously no, but I'm pretty sure at this point the weekly uptrend is confirmed. So just keep an eye out, guys. I'm pretty sure PayPal will be participating in the broad market rally. It has been doing very, very well over the last couple weeks, right? So I do expect us to gap fill here. And then even I do expect, guys, my final swing trade target for PayPal. I will be holding some shares and I have a leap longer term. However, for a number of my shares, talking about around 400, no, I'm undecided, between 400 and 500 shares, I will be offloading when we get some really if we get some hard momentum. I will be offloading a portion in the $90 range. I'm targeting 90, right? Potentially maybe 100 in the mid 80s, and then another 100 at 90, and then I'm targeting 100 as my last little area right here for the swing trade potential, right? So decent risk to reward on PayPal. Now, the account. Beautiful day again, guys, right? 62% outperforming, right? The NASDAQ was up about 1.7 today, so they should be up about 35. So we're up 62. NASDAQ is up 35 on the year. Very, very good performance by the NASDAQ. And me personally, if I have to say so myself, I'll pat myself on the back for that one. And as you can see, S&P as well. S&P also today was up around 0.7, 0.8%. So they should be around 7, let's call it 17.5 for all intents and purposes, right? So maybe 17.4, 17.5% on the year. We're up at 62%. So really good outperformance here across the S&P. And my positions for the day, new position on AMD, right? Open the position at 111 early morning on the AMD dip. I really, really like this move. I was like, oh, you guys want to give it to me again? You guys want to give it to me again? Okay, no problem. I'll take it. Why? Because it's really close to my 110 area. I like this 110 area and even lower around 107 all the way down to 100. So I'm a taker, especially if I'm expecting the daily high or low to be set. If it's going to give me a little opportunity to snipe some premium today, I will definitely take it. So you can see 2 contracts, 111. They are pretty much worthless. The AbbVie positions that I wrote yesterday, right? They are currently about 40% in profit. AbbVie did dip because of the dividend. I knew this was going to happen, but I was confident in the bulls' ability to at least hold the gains and at least buy back a bit of this dividend dip. So they closed yesterday at 135. They paid $1.50 in dividends. So it stands to argue that today they are opening at 33.50, right? 133.50, right? So I took that chance and it still did pay off. Pretty happy about that. Even if we do close under 133, we'll not be mad at all, guys. This is one of my favorite stocks in all of healthcare. Beautiful company, pays a very nice dividend, 4.4%. And look, they're always increasing revenues on a year-over-year basis. Very good profit margins, and the chart is very, very good on the long term. I am not scared. I'm not nervous of holding this position. We're at a massive support area as well. So all the things are lined up in my favor. If I get a sign and it happens and it keeps dropping, perfect. But at least I'll have set all the chances in my favor to succeed. And that's the point of the strategy. Enphase obviously will get called away tomorrow. Nike, I will be rolling because I'm going to get some good credit premium on that. May even roll up to the 108s and get an extra $100 in equity value. The premium for doing that was free, as a matter of fact. I was actually not losing or making anything for rolling up $1 in the strike. That would give me an extra $100 for next Friday. PayPal as well, going to be rolling these 71s for the 100 shares down here, right? So we've made some good money on covered calls on PayPal. PayPal, I'm pretty sure my average now is pretty much around the $68 on these 100 shares. Pepsi, pretty much, you guys can remember here that we wrote the 180s yesterday, right? So we got about 84 cents for it. They closed today at around 7 cents. I said a 7 cent. It pretty much at the open, right, closed me out for roughly 7 cents. So very, very good. 90+% profit. Amazing. Net is pretty much almost worthless. I don't even know why the premium is at 4 cents. I have the 61s. And if you look at net, right, net is already like $67. So it's almost impossible, guys, that I get a sign tomorrow, right? The market would have to, not only the market would have to drop hard, but net itself would have to drop hard, like 10%, you know, like it's dropped 10% in a day, right? But the difference is like the market was red those other days and maybe there was some, so very, very low probability of getting a sign on that. So all across the board, guys, once again, very, very beautiful week here. Nothing to say. Slight Bitcoin position here. I have much more than this in my long-term portfolio, but we had a decent day. We're already up 15% on those. And my Canadian banking shares that you can, oh. So you will see that my average there is, God, I'm terrible at this. What am I doing? $20.10, right? So now you can see we're almost back to break even. HCAL is my favorite Canadian banking ETF of all time. It's a very beautiful one, guys. Look at where I buy these things, right? You buy them at multi-year lows. Have to buy them at multi-year lows, and it's paying 7.75% dividend yield, right? Very, very, very good. It uses slight leverage to do that, right? Slight leverage, and they do believe, right, covered calls as well. This is my favorite dividend paying ETF in all of Canada for my Canadian fellow investors. So just keep an eye on this. Most of the Canadian banks, right? We're talking about BMO, like everything is 20 to 30% off of all-time highs. All of them. Royal Bank, Toronto Dominion, TD Bank, right? Bank of Nova Scotia, right? CIBC, right? So I don't have to keep going through them, guys. Like they're all 30% off all-time highs. This is where I buy. It pays a monthly dividend. I reinvest all the dividends. I have this ETF in all of my accounts. I've accumulated a fairly sizable position at low levels. So I'm very happy about that, guys. So that is pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider giving me a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it, guys, because you guys are the best. I appreciate all of your interactions with me so far. And don't forget, if you have any questions, put them down below in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. So I'll see you guys tomorrow after the close. Have a great rest of your night and happy trading tomorrow on Friday. Bank earnings, big day.